Okay, yes, it's English. Welcome to the maiden broadcast of The Ripple Effect. So, a show about causes and people who paid forward through philanthropy and other volunteer activities. Hi, Rachel here. So, for my first feature, I want you, my dear listeners, to get to know about a certain nonprofit organization dedicated to educating people about kindness to animals and responsible pet ownership. The Philippine Animal Welfare Society, or PAWS, was founded in 1954 by Muriel J., a British educator who was then residing in the Philippines, and subsequently revived in 1986 by Ms. Nina Hontiveros de Chalco. So PAWS members lobbied left and right since then in giving animals a voice and to learn more about PAWS. I have with me a stalwart advocate of animal welfare here in the country, my good friend and executive director, Ana Hashim Cabrera. Hi sis, good day. So, I know ever since you love animals, but how did you get involved with PAWS?
I care passionately about animals and animal welfare, but when I was a student, I couldn't do much about educating people about animal welfare, so I decided to make it a point after I graduated to look for an animal welfare organization who will do a lot of education as to how people treat animals, not necessarily rescue animals, but to educate people and to lobby at the government level. I was fortunate enough to meet Ms. Nita Ontiveros de Chalco in 1997, and together I was with her in the lobbying of the first Animal Welfare Act, which is the first anti-cruelty law in the Philippines. So from there it was all just volunteer work, and until we built this shelter in 2001, and it's been paused ever since.
I have a question. Why did you decide to do this full-time?
It was in 2006. I have, although I was a bank employee in 1997 when I started, my heart has always been with the animals. So every time I was at work, I would think about PAWS and how to raise money so that we can continue our work. I think it's true when people say that when you have your heart set on something, you will never be at peace until you are able to do that work that you were meant to do. And I felt at that time that I had to do something for the animals. I was being called to do something for the animals. So I did. Except that I couldn't, at that time, earn money from, earn my keep or just survive because there was no salaries available. In 2006, I was fortunate enough to be offered by Jill Robinson of Animals Asia Foundation, would you like to do this full-time? And Animals Asia Foundation of Hong Kong will fund your salary. Of course, this was a lower salary than my bank salary, but I grabbed it because at least I will be focusing on what my heart really wanted me to do.
That's right. So, but since you joined, what was the greatest challenge you faced?
I would think that it would be sometime in 2005, because we were informed that our lease was up on the shelter, and the shelter which we have worked so hard to build, new management of the owner of the land said that we have to pay hundreds of thousands of pesos as some sort of back taxes or the taxes that we had to pay, and this was never part of the earlier agreement. But we had no corporate lawyer, and it did seem that if we weren't able to cough up the money, we would be evicted from the place. And this was after we had poured all our organizations funding into creating animal areas. So it was a stressful time for all of us, especially for our president, Nita Ontiveros de Chalco, who's about 80 plus years old, and the poor Tata, she was just really saying, please handle this, because if we lose the shelter, I don't know what we'll do, and we'll do with all those animals. So I think that was the most challenging thing that ever happened to PAWS. But we were able to, um, by some miracle, raise the money. And then we negotiated with the owner of the land to allow us to stay. And so we are still trying to negotiate for better terms for long-term lease on this land. And I think the company is really considering it, since we have earned our reputation as an animal welfare organization that really does a lot for animals.
Okay. So, despite that, so what kept on motivating you to just go on and not stop, not quit, not give up?
Well, I think if you think of the animals, I always go back to the animals. What was the reason that I got here in the first place? It's not about people that you have fights with along the way. It's not about how tough the financial conditions are. It's when you look at the eyes of the animal that you're trying to help. And I think, corny as it may sound, it really is the driving force behind all of us. Sometimes we don't want to say we're brave, but just concern for the animals makes you do crazy things. I realized this when I was in Typhoon Ondoy. We were responding to animals in distress. I realized I was on a boat. We were trying to grab animals stranded in floating garbage. And we were in the middle of Laguna Lake. And
oh my God.
When I got back into the boat helping someone get a cat into the boat, I just realized that I didn't know how to swim.
Okay.
And if I had fallen in, I would have posed more of a problem to the fellow rescuers than anything else, because I would have drowned as well. And also in 2007, we had a dogfight case, and we had death threats coming from dogfight syndicates. But it's not that you're brave. I think it's more of like you are always focused on animal welfare, and it's hard to think of anything else.
Oh, that's nice. Honestly, sis, I'm a lover of dogs, but I really don't see myself doing what you're doing. So really, really awesome. I can't believe what you're doing is. You know, it's as big as this. So by the way, I just want to let you know that I love your banner ads.
Thank you.
Like every time you buy a pet from a pet shop, you're depriving an animal in a shelter, and love is in the heart, not in the breed. It's very, very catchy. You have Heart Evangelista and you also have Karil. I just want to know, how do you do your campaigns?
We are fortunate that a part of our roster of volunteers, we have people who work in ad agencies, or they have their own ad agencies.
Okay.
And so they contribute their time for free. So when we're brainstorming, we're fortunate enough, and there are professionals that actually do this, and they have their heart with the animals as well. So because sometimes you have the heart, but you don't have the skills. We're fortunate that we have people with the skills, and so they helped us come up with these campaigns. And at the start, there were no celebrities. There were just ordinary people. So we were doing these ads using ordinary people. But then later we were approached by Heart Evangelista. She herself went to us and asked us if she can speak out for the animals. And all of the ads, may I say, none of the celebrities get paid a cent.
Really?
We don't pay them to do these ads. In fact, they have to schedule us during their free time, and we go, and they even spend for their own, sometimes makeup, and it's their own clothes. We don't dress them up, and the photographers, we also say, can we have it for free? So everything is like a lot of begging, a lot of please do this for us, and by some miracle, everything comes together, and it's absolutely free. And people find this hard to believe, because for-profit corporations, they say an ad like that would cost hundreds and thousands of pesos. The celebrity alone, getting the celebrity to say yes and endorse your product, that alone is like $500,000 pesos sometimes. But and so sometimes we tend to give off the impression that we have money. We don't. And when we end up on newspapers or on TV for those ads, we don't pay a cent, and people think a cent. and people think, oh, you have money to pay for the ads.
That's
No.
true.
All of these are all pro bono, and then we ask them. And I think when people know that you're a non-profit org and you're just trying to help animals, and then they see your work because they come here and they
Yes.
actually see people line up. It's different when you're just a non-profit organization and then there's some big thing that you do and there's no track record. But with Boss, they know that if they come here and they see the actual work and people moving around and there's the actual animal, if we come out with a story like Dennis was rescued in Katipunan, they can ask about Dennis and they can see him here. And they will see his picture if he gets adopted. And we have records of the adoptive parents. I think that establishes credibility. And when you have credibility, then the more likely that people are able to give. So it's just that I think we're very fortunate. We have people with talent, we have celebrities, and you know the value of a celebrity.
Yes.
If a celebrity says it, it may carry more weight than if I just say it. And if they say it, all their followers and fans will take it as Bible truth.
That's right.
And that's a big plus in your education process. Because I might go this week to one school and affect 30 students, or just do 100 schools and affect 3,000 students. But I will never have the effect of like Heart Evangelista speaking up on TV and reaching millions of viewers. And when she says something about the animals. So we're very fortunate. We value our celebrity supporters. We value the people who give time to do our ads.
Yeah, I also know that before you had a picture with Sharon Cuneta. I saw that in Facebook.
That one, Sharon is one of our newest celebrity supporters. She called one time and then she said she wanted to visit, and then everybody was, yeah, Sharon Cuneta daw wants to visit, and we're like, yeah, sure, Sharon Cuneta. But then daw she wants to come when there are no people,
Yeah.
after office hours, and so we're like, yeah, okay po, sige po. And then for PA, personal assistant came here, parating na po si Sharon, and we're like, baka it's true, di ba? And then she came in the van, and we were like, that was the thing that appeared on Facebook was already the second time she came.
The second time.
The first time she came, out of respect, we didn't want to snap a picture because Sharon came here, she had no makeup on. She was just like, she hopped over, she said, I'd like to help the animals. She was so low profile, we just didn't want to like take a picture and post
Take advantage of her visit here, yeah.
So we didn't want to. But she was true to her word. She said, I'll support that animal, I'll support that animal. And voila, in the week after, she sent money, she sent food for the particular animals she wanted to sponsor. On top of that, she wanted to adopt Rosie, one of the rescued dogs. And so the second time she came again after office hours without makeup again. And so we just had to ask, Miss Sharon, can we take a photo? And she said, oh, sure, yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
And so if you notice the picture, like, she had no makeup, she was totally down to earth. She's such a good person. So she went here and then she fed Rosie, she kissed Rosie. This was a mangy dog. And so now, we're still talking with her and her managers and what possible campaign we can do.
Okay.
Because if Miss Sharon Cuneta agrees to do an ad for us, it will be like we have the #1 endorser in the whole
I
Philippines,
know.
promoting adoptions, and that would be a very good thing for adoption.
Before it was Augie Alcacid and Michelle Van Eimeren, right?
Yeah, years ago when they were still married. And Michelle is actually the animal lover, and she was really attending our meetings. But then she got busy with show business already, and then she left the country. So, but she is also one of the staunch supporters.
Okay. So, before we end, so could you share with us a nugget of wisdom for those who would want to not just volunteer but take up a cause? Because if, for example, someone like me, I would hear you say that. Ah, yeah, I can. I think I can. So what can you say?
Passion is a very important thing. Passion is what will light the fire and just make you do something that you would never logically think of doing. And so
Okay.
if your heart tells you something, then go for it. But passion will not be sustained by just passion alone.
That's right.
You have to be logical. Like many of our volunteers here, they know that helping the animals involve hard work. The before and after picture of an animal doesn't appear overnight. You have to work like minsan months and months and years of hard work before you're able to make a difference for that animal. What we're just saying is that be prepared to do the work. That
Okay.
comes with the passion. Because if you just think that you just do what you're passionate about and everything will come together, no. You really have to think that you are ready to pour in hard work. There are many people who want to have animals, but then they say, kawawa naman the dog, kawawa the cat, and they just want to report but not
Yes,
really
do anything.
about it. We
That's right.
need their proactive help or support in order to do something tangible. Because if you put your mind to it and then you put your muscle into it, then there's a lot more than you can do than just maybe whining about the situation, or because there are many things that are lacking in this world.
That's right.
Children need help, disaster-stricken communities, and you want to help them. And I think many of us were just too preoccupied with our own, like how do we make money, how do we earn more so that we can get more. But if we are too focused on ourselves, I don't think that's a life worth living. I think life should be lived for others. You have to find a cause bigger than yourself. You have to find something that will outlive you. Because I think it's such a waste of life if you are just here for your own needs and for your own luxury. If you find a cause, whether it's children, animals, other people, just go for it, because your life was given so that you can serve others.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's all that we have for today. So please join us again next week as we interview a volunteer from VSO Baguinen. This is Rachel signing off. Bye!
We're going to change the world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out, find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been charted, roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. With our hands and with our hearts, we can dare to make a start. Together we can change the world. What if we spoke with one voice, knowing that we have a choice? Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been charted, roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. When we open up our eyes and we start to realize together we can change the world. Change your mind. Can't do it by myself. Asking for your change the world. Together we can change the world. Change the world. Sometimes where it's been shining, all your sweets and let's get started. Together we can change the world. Change the world. Can't do it by myself. Asking for your change the world. Together we can change the world. Change the world. Sometimes where it's been shining, all your sweets and let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's 9.